As you all know, we've been working on my dad's car, AKA Papa T's car now, for a pretty good while. Originally, this car was just gonna come over. We were gonna tweak a few things on it, just make sure everything was okay and send it back. One thing led to another, and now, you know, we're working on this thing. That's all I can say. We do have an end game on it, and we're getting pretty close. So with all that being said, we've got something awesome, or at least I think it's awesome, for Papa T's car. Bam. Look at these things. Aren't they beautiful? No, seriously, these are my old Bogart Dragstar wheels. My dad actually got these for me, oh Lord, let's see, back probably around 2009. I'm telling you guys, the older you get, it just seems like yesterday, but it literally he's had these things for over 10 years now, and he's never really used them. They just sat around. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna do it in this video, but I'm gonna clean these things up and I'm gonna show you guys how I go about polishing wheels, but I can't find my attachment right now. So we're not gonna do that in this video. But what we are gonna do is pump these things up and stick them on the car. As you guys can see, the tires are completely dry rotted. One of the front tires blew out, so we're not using any of the tires, obviously. We will be ordering some new tires possibly tonight after we do this and we verify the fitment. Now these are going to be too big, we know that, but I need to just see how they sit so that I know what tire I need to order. I'm pretty sure we're going to go with a set of Hoosier 275 50-15s and probably some 165/80 tires up front. So just some old like Volkswagen style tires, something like that. We're not going to be doing like Mickey Thompson front runners or anything like that because it's just too expensive. He's not going to drive this car a whole lot, but when he does, you know, we want him to go up and down the road. So I'm going to go ahead, take the wheels off the car, we'll get these on and we'll start testing fitment. Like I said, guys, we know they're going to be too big, but it's just a matter of deciding what size tire we need. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, as you can see, we've got one of the wheels on the car, and you know what? I don't think we're gonna be too bad. Like, this is the correct offset. These tires are just extremely too big for this car, so we won't be running these, as you can see. I mean, that's not gonna work. Now, we are gonna roll the fenders, and like I said, we'll be going to a 275/50, basically what is on this car here, but in a wrinkle wall bias ply tire. So I did have to remove the quad shock. So the quad shock goes back here and it would be in the way of the tire. So we got that out of the way. That's really simple. I'm thinking we're gonna be okay with these wheels, but don't really know for sure. So what we're gonna do now is throw a couple lug nuts on here just to hold the wheels up, and we're gonna start setting the car down, and let's see how close everything actually is, because yeah, this is do or die. You don't wanna go spend a bunch of money on new tires and then get all this stuff here and it not work. So let's go ahead and do that now. These wheels have not been off of this car in a long time, so we're gonna put a little deep creep on here to help lubricate everything. We don't wanna gall up any threads. Cool side note, my dad has known this car ever since it was bought new. It's had 3 owners. My dad's friend that owned it new, he sold it then to a guy that we knew, and then my dad bought it a few years later. So kind of cool backstory. All right, let's go ahead and get this wheel on and see how everything's gonna fit. I think the offset is going to be fine. We shouldn't have any issues. So yeah, I think this is a success. This rear end looks like it's sitting to the rear a little bit more, so we may have some control arm issues as well. I'm sure we do. But anyway, that's the tire on the car. Really doesn't look bad. So I think it's going to be a go to go ahead and get these tires. Let me go ahead and pump this air compressor up again. Let's get some more air in this thing. I ain't gonna lie, that looks good. This, man, that looks awesome. This is gonna be a sweet setup. I went ahead, threw a little bit of Armor All on the tires because you know, everything's kind of looking rough, but these wheels should polish out great. I've not touched them, I've not done anything with the wheels, but the wheels should polish out really good. A new set of tires obviously is gonna really wake this thing up. All new lug nuts, center caps, all that stuff we have coming for the car. I think this is gonna look freaking sweet. Now, we're not gonna have this big of a tire on the car. It's not gonna have a 28 on it. It's gonna be the same size tire as what we have on the green car back here. We just have to visualize this thing, you know, with, like I said, with everything done, new tires, polished up wheels, all the lug nuts, center caps and everything. This is just kind of a taste of how it's gonna look. That is a great looking stance right there. Check it out. We also have something else for Papa T's car. His steering wheel is shot, so he had another one laying around, and this thing is in freaking great shape, guys. Look at that. Look at that. It just needs to be cleaned up. So we're gonna clean this thing up, get it in the car. Like I said, our whole goal here is just to make this car nice again. That's it. It's not far off. It's really not. It's got some rust and it's got some issues up top. It doesn't really have any rust under the bottom of the car. But we just need to get all this stuff addressed and get this car back to where he wants to drive it more, because it's like I've told you guys before, the worst thing you can ever do with one of these cars is let it sit. Now, we went through this car a couple of years ago, sprayed the dash, put all new carpet in it, everything else, and it's actually held up really nice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the front wheels on the car just to make sure the back spacing and all that stuff's right and we don't have to have a spacer, and I'll get back to you guys when we get that done. This gives you a rough idea of what this car is going to look like. I think it looks really like old school, just awesome. All right, guys, so tell me, what do you think about this setup on Papa T's car? I think it's going to look freaking awesome when it's all said and done and everything's cleaned up and we get the suspension set up right. We're also going to do some other wheels with more of a different style retro theme. I think you guys are going to like it. Now, when that's going to happen, I don't know. It may be next year or something like that. But we have plans on painting this car, and I think you guys are going to love it. Some of you are going to hate it, but anyway, just stay tuned because Papa T's car is still undergoing some major transformations. There's a few more things that we want to do to it. And I know some of you are going to ask, well, man, what about the 65? You said you were going to start on this when it starts to cool down. Well, guys, I don't know where you live, but down here in South Alabama, it is still hot. It's not cooled down yet. We're gonna get back started on it, but right now we're having fun, and that's all that matters. If we're having fun with these other cars, then that's what we're gonna continue to do, and I recommend you guys do the same thing. There's no point in me putting all this time pressure on myself for the 65 when it doesn't matter. We can get to it when we get to it, and we are here pretty soon. When, I don't know exactly. Right now, though, man, we're having a blast with Papa T's car. We've been working on this thing like every day. That one is coming up next. We also have got some stuff coming for Andrew's car. So the white notch has got some really cool stuff coming as well. So guys, just stay tuned. We're gonna get into the meat of all this here very, very shortly. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, wrap this video up. And as always, thanks for watching.